Hello twin flames, thank you for being here, for liking, subscribing and all the amazing comments and feedback you leave me. It means the world, as you know, and if you are new to the channel, welcome, subscribe, join our family because we're here for you every day. So all the horoscope readings now for July are recorded and they will be uploaded soon. Now I've posted most of the signs already. If I haven't yet posted your sign, be patient, it will be on there soon. And also an overview of July moving forward. So we know now that July is going to be a powerful one. There's been such powerful energy coming through in the reading. So I'm going to bring in 2 decks of cards today. The Angel Whispers of Love by Sandra from World Illuminator 11. And my deck, the Twin Flame Wisdom Oracle, because we're going to see what angel messages are around your connection. You know, anything you're going through today. The angels are going to give you the answer about how you deal with it. But before I do this, I want to bring in some testimony energy, because what really shows you it's real and helps you to relate with the journey is when you listen to, you know, what our soul family is going through. That's why when me and George talk about our journey, or you hear twins talking about their journey, it relates so much to you and your journey, because you think, yes, I've been through that. I understand that. It makes sense. So I've got a couple of things I just want to read you. So I'm going to start with our soul sister, Nina. Now, I pinned this onto the Karmic Endings Twin Flame video that I did the other night. It was so powerful, this message. She put, "Hi, soul family. I've watched the movie Dirty Dancing yesterday, and I've watched it a lot of times. But yesterday, it was like seeing it with a fresh perspective." Now, I love that, because we're always shown signs through things we see, things we feel, and things in a way we know. And she's watched Dirty Dancing many, many times, but it's like a door opened when she watched it this time. It's like a light went on, some form of illumination came in. And I really had that the other night. You know, me and George went to see a Lionel Richie tribute, and he sang Lady. And the feeling and the emotion that came through me, and I've heard that song many times before, but in that moment I was connecting with and channeling the divine masculine energy and how they feel. And that's why I just felt obligated to share that song. So remember, something you may have listened to many times or watched many times, all of a sudden may start making perfect sense to you. You see things with fresh eyes, and that's what happens for the divine masculine. And that's what we're being reminded too. You know, the divine masculine is shown things the way that you are too. So they may have watched something many, many times, but they might watch it again like recently, and it reminds them of you. So what Nina's saying is, do you remember the lift up scene in the grass when Johnny is saying to baby, "You will hurt me if you won't trust me"? And the DM longs for that trust from the divine feminine, so he won't be hurt and used again like so many times before. The lift scene is all about trust and balance on both parts. When she loves him fully in the open with all the people watching, she does it effortlessly because she has experted who she is and she is loving him in the open. Isn't that beautiful? And it's so true. This is exactly what the DM wants, to be loved and accepted for who he is, insecurities and all. And that's the truth. That's why as a divine feminine, we have to take that step back and allow the masculine to take the lead. And you know, what happened in that? You know, Johnny is the lead, but baby becomes the leader. So remember, this is how we become the leader, by allowing the journey to take place. And the beginning of the movie, Johnny seems like this player guy that your mother would warn you about. But as you get to know him better through the movie, you realise nothing is what it seems on the surface. He's been caught up in this life where it's all a financial transaction. And the older women are playing with him like the latest toy because they can. And he starts to believe he is not worth more than this. And when baby comes along, he is looking at her like, "Who are you?" And she makes him want to be living his authentic life. When they have a conversation about him working for his uncle or something, the place where he is supposed to work is called Union. So there is a sign from the universe there are better times ahead for Johnny and baby together. The way Johnny cares for Penny during hard times is so beautiful. And it showed me to look at it differently if my DM has female friends. and helps them. This makes him a man I can look up to and be proud of, because he is showing other women the respect and help they need and deserve at one moment in time. And when Baby says to Penny, I envy you because she is such a good dancer, she doesn't believe in herself, so she thinks she must compete with her over Johnny's attention. But as she steps into her light, she realises that all she ever wanted was already inside of her the whole time. The messages were just so beautiful, and I wanted to share. So thank you, Nina, so much for sharing. And it is so powerful. So powerful. You know, in that film, and in many, many films, we see this constantly. Look about Maverick. You know, many of you may have watched the new film Maverick with Tom Cruise, the new Top Gun film. And he, you know, comes back to Penny. And, you know, in Top Gun, the original, he's talking about the Admiral's daughter, Penny Benjamin. And in Maverick, they come back together after a long period of time away. And after Maverick messing around and hurting her so many times, they come back together for good. And, you know, when I watch Maverick with George, we watched that at the cinema, when they, you know, got back together properly and he was like, I'm never leaving you again, I just had angel bumps, because this is the energy we're working towards. And there is fear being released right now, and we have to release fear. And I have got some more I'm going to read to you, but I just want to share with you something that happened to me. Okay, the other day I went into masculine energy, and it happens in union sometimes too, where it will come out of the blue. You know, because in union, we are aligned with each other's energy. So we operate, you know, very freely and kind of coolly in a way with both energies. So everything's balanced. Before union, things can be very unbalanced, or things can be up and down. But even in union, we have moments of imbalance too that we have to iron out with the help of the angels. So the last time I really experienced masculine energy was around the new year. And I did a video on that where, you know, I was in the garage and I was getting very emotional because I was messing with my mum's stuff, and I just went into masculine energy and I blew everything out of proportion. I pushed George away and basically did a runner. And then I had to give myself a good talking to and come back. Okay, and that's what the masculines do. You know, when they are silent, they are processing. And it's happened again the other day. You know, I just went into masculine energy. I was missing my mum. Everything was getting on top of me. I needed a day off. I was thinking about things. And really all I needed was some space. I needed some time out for me. And even though George, if I'd asked him, would have given me that freely, I felt overwhelmed with everything because I was operating in masculine energy. And we went out and we were sitting in a coffee shop, and it just all came up. And so what I did was I created an argument. I created an environment where I could go and be by myself. And that's what the masculines do. So never take it personally. You know, George was doing nothing wrong at all, but my ego was creating the need to think and be by myself and work things out. So I caused an argument so I could kind of storm out and go and be by myself, which is what I did. And obviously, George was left thinking, what's going on, you know, and he knows full well that it's me operating in this masculine energy. So he just kind of left me to it. And then when I eventually came home, I went and I did a little bit of shopping and thinking and working on the self. And I sat by the bench where the funeral home is, where my mum was. And, you know, I kind of went through a big cleanse as well. And then when I felt ready, and it only took a few hours, I came home and all was well. You know, it was forgotten like that and everything was okay again. And we had that amazing, you know, kind of coming together moment again where everything is understood and realised. Now, the masculines do that, but they do it on a longer scale. So in union, the energy is cleared very, very quickly when you go through those moments, and things will trigger them out of the blue. So obviously it's June as I record this in real time. I haven't had one of those triggers since New Year. And obviously we're all human. We're all spiritual beings having a human experience. So we've all got an ego. We're all going to go through these things, whether it's something at work that's triggering to you, or you've lost your mum or your dad, or something goes on, and it'll push you into an energy. You know, and the masculines in union can be pushed into feminine energy and be very loving and, you know, over-loving sometimes too. But the point I'm making is, is that it gets sorted out in union quicker. So as I said, I sorted myself out. Within a couple of hours, it was all sorted. For the masculines in real time, in, pre-union, it can take months sometimes. They can push you away for no reason, but the reason is within themselves. So that's why as a divine feminine, we mustn't take it personally. Because when the masculines create that argument or create that block or that distance or whatever they do, it's not about you. It's about them needing to go within and process what's going on in their life. And that could be they're angry at themselves over a karmic situation. Maybe they feel guilty about something. They may feel guilt over something they've, not done in their life. They could feel guilty about the way they've been treating you. And they have to go away to process what's going on. And that's really as well what, the energy is here, because I absolutely love this message from one of our soul family, and I screenshot it. This is our soul sister Valeska. And she says, every time he goes silent, I take it so personal and I start doubting and feeling fear. And then the days go by and I start to realise that it's time for me to heal, and I start focusing on myself. I still don't have communication, but today I woke up in peace and understanding the process of this journey, and I know that he will come back to me, because he always does, no matter what I feel him in my heart. And thank you, Liz, for this reading. It resonates. So what she's saying is, every time he goes silent, we take it personally and we start doubting the journey and feeling fear. And then as we start to breathe and relax into it, we realise there's nothing wrong, that we need healing too, that we need time too. There was nothing that George could have done in that moment to make me feel better, because I was operating in that energy where I needed to go and figure it out for myself. He could have offered me 1,000 solutions and I would have still put a barrier up and been defensive and maybe caused another argument because I needed to figure it out for myself. And that's why sometimes we feel like we're banging our head on a wall, because you may be trying to tell your masculine about the journey or trying to help him to see it from a higher point of view. And you're banging your head on the wall. It's like it isn't going in. McFly, because he needs to figure it out himself. He knows you're right. He just needs to come to his own conclusion. And that's why a lot of the time the masculines don't realise what the journey is labelled. They don't understand the label of the twin flame, yet they feel it and they understand it. And our soul sister Razorwire, who's come into union, by the way, shared this, and I just love this. Early on, I mentioned the word twin flames in conversation, and my DM asked me, what does that mean? He'd never heard the term at all. I gave him a simple definition, and he said, oh, like us. It was just so innocent and matter of fact the way he said that. We do not really talk about twin flames very often, but some weeks ago I sent him a photo of 2 vibrant orange flowers that looked identical, and he said it made me think of us, twin flames, so he hasn't forgotten either. And that's so true, because they may not understand the label, but they certainly understand the meaning of it, the way they feel, the feeling and the power of the love, and that's what matters. And I was just kind of watching some YouTube the other day, and I came across a comment on a video I was watching. And it wasn't a twin flame video I was watching, it was just something this was on there, and I was like, wow, screenshot it. It says, my grandmother once told me, a diamond does not plead to be picked up. Now remember, you're that diamond. Some will walk past it. Some will pick it up and think it's a skipping stone and throw it into the river. Only a few will recognise its value. Some will only get to know they have a diamond when they see it bringing wealth to another. Some will never get to know that they threw a diamond away. Yet the diamond remains the same. You are the diamond. So that means, people will come and go in your life, but your twin flame always knows your value, regardless of what's going on. In different stages of the journey teaches them different things, yet you and your connection remains the same. So a diamond does not plead to be picked up. So we learn as a divine feminine that we don't need to create communication. We don't need to plead and beg our twin to give us their attention, because we don't need to. And we learn that through self-worth. We learn that through the silence. We learn that through separation. Some will walk past it. So sometimes the masculine will completely walk past you and you think you don't exist. But it's the fact that they aren't ready for you, or they aren't ready to give you what you deserve. Some will pick it up and think it's a skipping stone and throw it into the river. So you may think at times your masculine picks you up and drops you very easily, doesn't understand your worth. But they will recognise your value. Some will only get to know they have a diamond when they see it bringing wealth to another. So in other words, you may start seeing somebody else, and they may realise how much they want you because you're with someone else. Or they may feel your energy is moving on. They may feel you giving everything back to yourself, and they start missing that diamond because they know that you are valuable and you are the one. And some will never get to know they threw a diamond away, yet the diamond remains the same. So what this is saying is the masculines will work out eventually in time how important you are and what this journey is. But it takes time sometimes for them to understand that. Why? Because they're going through their own lessons and their own journey of healing and truth. It's very powerful. So the answer is this, and this was a comment that I wrote out to one of our soul family when they were struggling. And I saved it in case I need to talk about it, and I'm feeling today's the day. So self-love is the answer. Self-love there is very humble and wonderful. And we can start to do that with mirror work. Okay, and I put, if you go to the playlist, try the series New Year, New Me. It's one of my first series, so I may seem different on it, but the messages are powerful. And the reason why I may seem different is because we grow and evolve. You know, my early videos are very different than my videos now because I had to grow into being on camera and being, you know, the way I am, the way I channel, getting confident in me. And that's what we do as a divine feminine. We become confident in who we are, and we stand up for what we believe in, and we learn to not care what people think. So use gratitude to raise you up, and call on Archangel Jophiel to keep you grounded and able to see all with the eyes of love, so you recognise the soul in others and have compassion and empathy for all, including yourself. Because everything we experience is a reflection of ourselves. You've got this. Okay, so I'm going to delete that now because this was the right time to put it on. So you've got this. Use self-love, gratitude to give you a powerful feeling of self-worth. Remember who you are. And this was another comment, okay, because one of our soul sisters said she reached out and lashed out at a twin. And I put, everything happens for a reason. So remember, and I'm sure you feel much lighter now you got it all out into the open. Read your words from your higher self as the observer and try and see all the pressure being put on the connection through the need to have things how you want them to be. So sometimes we get angry and frustrated because things aren't how we want them to be. And then we blame our twin and we think there's something wrong and we can lash out and then regret it because we're operating in fear, not love. When we give back to ourselves all the things we crave from our twin flame, the pressure is released. That means we start giving ourselves love and attention. We start doing things we want to do. We start operating in the present moment and in our power. Your twin, and this is the truth, okay? Your twin is frustrated at himself right now, not you. So remember, whenever the masculines take that step back, or they run away, or they go silent, they're frustrated at themselves, not you. When I went into masculine energy again the other day, I wasn't frustrated at George or angry at George. I was frustrated and angry at me because I was missing my mum, and I started thinking, oh, if only I'd have given more time, if only I'd have done this. And it was daft because going over the past does not change it. Healing the past and accepting the past does change it because we feel it free, we feel peaceful. So it was just me needing to have a moment to process what I was going through, to also go through, the grieving process on that day, because we're constantly healing and grieving and realizing and evolving and going through things. And sometimes we can get overwhelmed with the day-to-day running of our lives and need time for ourselves. So your twin can get frustrated at himself and he can take that out on you. He wants to be everything you want and give in equal measure. But he has to be ready for this spiritually as well as physically. So instead of wanting all of these things from them, which leads to disappointment, give to yourself. And that feeling of overgiving and not being appreciated will shift. And that's the absolute truth. But know this, every journey, this is another comment. So I've just screenshot some comments for the right time to share them. And the angels are telling me now. Every journey is unique and different. Time is illusion as we all go through what we go through. Twin flames wake up and always receive higher guidance and intuitive hits when the time is right. My guidance is, don't worry about the journey to being together. Instead, focus on loving life, being fully present in the now, and trust the process of your life. Because when it seems to be going backwards, it's always going forwards. And that's the message of the day. That's what the angels want me to share with you today, because it's the truth. So I'm going to bring in some cards to clarify this. So thank you, angels. So we're going to get an energy for the divine feminine. An energy for the divine feminine today. What do we need to know? An energy for the feminine. An energy for the divine masculine, please, angels. There it is. And an energy for the journey. Wow. So quite a few come out then for the journey. Makes sense. I'm taking it. And then I'm going to use a clarifier from heaven. So obviously we don't yet know what the energy is, but the angels do. So what's the clarifier or the guidance from heaven, please, angels, for the divine feminine? There it is, 2 cards. The clarifier or the guidance for the divine masculine. What do we need to know? Wow. Okay, I want some clear cards coming out here. Taking them. And the clarifier or the guidance for the connection. Wow, look how they're jumping out here. Taking out what's coming for a reason. So, let's start then with the divine feminine, which most of you are. Or if you are masculines, you may be operating in divine feminine if you're watching this reading. So, the message for you is now, look at this. In the now, you have won. So you're being reminded that the present moment is where the power is. That's where the power is, not the past or the future, the now. In the now, we create the future without expectation. And in the now, we heal the past. So everything's healed. It says, focus on love, move on from the past and make today your goal. So divine feminine, the wisdom from heaven is to focus on the now and make today your goal. Don't worry about tomorrow. Let God take care of that. Let the angels sort that out. Let the universe bring that in at the right time. And look at the word now. When you spell that backwards, it says won. So in the now, you have won. So the angel guidance is, there is no need to take life so seriously at all times. Let your inner child come out to play. Let go, have some fun and enjoy yourself. And that's how you move back into the now, by letting your hair down. So often on this journey, when we meet up with our twin, we make it, stressful because we start talking about the future and then we start putting pressure on everything and we start bringing up the past instead of just being playful and enjoying the moment. And, that's always a message for anyone meeting up with their twin. Make it playful. Connect with your inner child. So the angel's saying, make it less serious and more loving, more fun. Enjoy each day and be in the now. And acceptance of what is, acceptance of what you cannot change or control is of utter importance because it helps you to find inner peace. So this is also about the past. Accepting what's happened and being okay with it, realizing you've learned from it and you've grown from it and you've moved into it. So accepting what is now, being in the moment. So in the now, when we accept things and we have more fun, we feel better. We feel more at peace. And look at this, to be in the now, go out, spend time in nature. It will do wonders for you in so many ways. So the energy for the divine feminine today is to do you, to go in nature, to breathe, to go out. Maybe you're being guided to go out and do something, go somewhere new, go on vacation, go on an adventure, do what you feel guided to do. Because that's operating in the here and now. And don't worry about the future because it will take care of itself. Now for the masculine, look at this. We've got 11-11. 11-11 for the masculine. So the masculines are seeing 11-11 because that's a huge sign of awakening and the universe speaking to them. And the message says, It's not the knowing that makes the difference on this journey. It's understanding the journey that creates the powerful change. Now, the masculines need that time, space, and room to do that. And as I said, they may not know the label, but they certainly understand the feeling. And that's what they know. True love is coming your way. So I feel that's also a message from the masculine to the feminine saying, I'm coming your way. That means you don't have to go out of your way to bring me back into your life. I'm already on my way. True love is coming your way. And the masculines know that you are true love. New beginnings are on the horizon. So the new beginning for the masculine. So I feel this is definitely the masculine saying to you, divine feminine, there's a new beginning here. This is all on the horizon. We're coming back together. So if you've seen 1111, this is your message today from your masculine that they are on the way. You are not doing your life alone. Your angels are right by your side, holding your hand and walking with you. So the masculines are not alone. So when they are seeing 1111, they have been shown by the angels and their guides and their ancestors that they are not alone. And they feel the power of your love. Negative thoughts obstruct your true desires. Constantly observe your thoughts and replace any negative thoughts with positive ones. So the masculines are beginning to observe their thoughts and their feelings because they're taking control of their life. And believe in the power of heaven, anything and everything is possible. I love that. That really resonates with the masculine readings lately. So they are starting to believe that they have the power to change their world. So there's lots of lessons here for the connection, okay? Because remember, we're all on different stages of the journey. So some of you are in separation, some of you are in communication, some of you are in union. First of all, look at this. We've got separation. So to be ready for union, we must become at peace with the many aspects of the journey to it, including the parts that cause us pain. These are the most beneficial times as they grow us, make us strong and teach us there is nothing missing in spiritual truth. Separation, like fear, is merely illusion. Now, isn't that true? Truth. You are the only person that they can be their true self with. Now, in the separation, they learn that. That's what they come to understand, that they want to be with you because you are already living in your light and living in your truth and your authenticity. And they want to do that too. So that allows the masculine to rise. So what I'm feeling with these are, see how the cards all give the message. The separation leads to the truth. And the truth helps us rise. Says people can say hurtful things about topics they do not understand. Respond with love and kindness because you know your truth. And their opinions or views do not change that. And that's so true. People who don't understand the twin flame journey, people who don't understand the true worth or journey of the divine masculine, people who say nasty things about the divine masculine or saying hurtful things about topics they don't understand. Sometimes we lash out when we don't understand what's going on. So we are shown how to respond with love and kindness by the angels because we know our truth. And we know that regardless of other people's opinions or views. Very powerful. We learn to set boundaries. Bad behaviour teaches us what we will and won't accept on this journey. Don't be afraid to step away until your twin flame can give to you equally and treat you with the respect that you deserve. So in other words, separation creates a boundary and it works for us, not against us. Don't be afraid to take that step back if you feel like your masculine still needs to wake up or learn or treat you better, because that bad behaviour is showing you who you are. And also about self-care. So what I'm feeling here first of all is, this is the energy around separation. The angels want you to know why separation occurs, why it takes place, why it happens, because it allows a boundary to come in for both twins. So the divine feminine stops overgiving and works on the self. This is your sign from the universe. This is when we go into separation or silence, to turn your attention back to yourself, to focus on you for a while and give back to yourself in a loving, kind, compassionate and caring way. And that's also what the masculines do. So you may think, oh, he's blocked me because of his karmic partner, or we're apart because he wants to be in his marriage. It isn't that at all. Okay, you've gone your separate ways so that you can learn what love is. So you learn that this love is real, that's your truth. And you learn that you want each other in each other's lives. It's very powerful. So whenever you go through a silence or something happens, see it as a sign from the universe to work on you. And most importantly, relax. And also believe. And then we let go. Isn't this interesting? So he says, relax. When you are both ready, at the right time, you'll be together. Release blame and negative thinking and focus on living your best life. And that's what the angels want you to do. And then you let go of fear. You are learning to heal deep wounds surrounding control issues. Take a step back and let your twin flame come to you. And that's what separation teaches you. And it teaches you to believe. Have faith in what will be in the physical world. So whenever we go through a silence or a separation, or the masculine's just being distant or running, we are taught to believe in love. Your twin flame journey is always a journey back to the self. Focus on you, heal your past, heal yourself, and let your beautiful light shine through. So I feel this is definitely a message for anyone struggling right now with separation. Learn to trust in this journey and relax and breathe, because you know your truth. And you have all the answers within you. Let go of doubting yourself and always stick to your truth and inner knowingness. And that's the message for today. So the masculine's going through a deep healing right now. They know their truth. They understand that when they're with you. That's why they're seeing 11:11. There's big power for the feminine as you come back into the now. So whatever is happening in your journey, you are loved, protected and safe. Your union is moving into place and there's nothing to fear. And all of heaven is surrounding you, giving you power. I hope this helps. Have a great day and I'll see you soon.